Ready? Here we go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Clapper trick. Ready?
Hey, it didn't do nothing.
That's terrible.
Hey, that was good.
One more time.
Hey,
Yes.
too many claps. There you go. Yeah.
Brickmaniacs, welcome back to another episode of Brickmania TV. This is a Thursday sit rep. I'm Slam. I'm here with Dan. And today we have some exciting new pre-orders to talk about.
Yes, and a little bit delayed. We hoped that this would come out a couple of weeks ago, but took the time to get it right. I think that's more important than having it on time is getting it right. So
It's amazing how much stuff we can release week after week on very short schedules, and they look fantastic. Sometimes we bump things back to get them even better.
Well, sometimes things take more than a week to do. So
Yes.
so
this is a big build. It's a big build.
yes, it's this A-10. Haven't done this. It's been 7-8 years or something since the last.
It's been before my time at Brickmania,
Yeah,
so it's at least 7 years.
So it's been a while since we've done an A-10. This isn't a adaptation. In fact, it's a complete rebuild. I mean, it's a complete scratch build. There's no nothing of the previous one in here. Maybe a couple of similarities because I did the previous one, so
Sure.
some things I liked and kept, but it wasn't a copy. It was definitely this is like the fourth version too.
Iteration's good. It's part of like a good, healthy design process to
yeah.
iterate and improve. I'm going to close up this one.
The air brake. The air brake, yeah. So the A-10, it's very iconic. And the last time we did it was all solid gray, which is what you see commonly. It's like a light gray color.
That's the current paint scheme on all of them.
Yeah, and which is weird because it's so different from all the other Air Force planes. It's almost like they don't really want to have it. They don't even give it the same paint scheme as the rest of the Air Force.
The U.S. Air Force has been trying to kill this plane, not kill, but
Right.
cancel this plane for 4 or 5 years.
Right, but I don't think they understand just how important it is to the other three branches that this plane sticks around. A friend of mine, I was at the Infantry Museum at Fort Moore, Georgia, a couple weeks ago, and a friend who was with me is a former infantry soldier, and he said A-10 is his best friend because when he sees that, it's like a reassurance that they know that they have actual support.
Right. You can't really operate the A-10 without full air superiority, right? Because it's a slow, low-flying plane, but it packs a huge punch.
Right. And that's not totally true because it does have Sidewinder missiles.
Yeah.
You know, could you imagine taking a pot shot at another aircraft with that 30 millimeter gun in the front? I think
It's not typically what it's used for, but sure, yes.
I think A-10 versus attack helicopter, the outcome would be, it would be pretty favorable in odds of the A-10.
But in recent history, the A-10 has played a huge role in Afghanistan, Iraq, previously in Iraq, Syria.
Using them in Syria.
And it's all about providing close air support for our troops. And it can wipe out anything it sets its eyes on.
Right. It's a ground attack plane, and it's meant to loiter. So it has these very fuel efficient, slow turbine engines. So it can fly relatively slow compared to the fast moving fighter jets. It can loiter on location. It has the endurance. It has in-flight refueling capabilities too. So it can actually go on these extended missions up to however long that the pilot can stand being in that cockpit,
right?
Or until you run out of ammunition, which of course, as you look at it, has a lot of weapons choices.
Yeah. So you've built this, and we've built this to have a full armament loadout.
Yes, of course.
And some of them are 3D printed. Some of them are brick built. Yeah,
we actually. So I had this whole thing all set up. Like our previous one with brick-built bombs. And then I was like, you know what, it looked a little weird with the cool Sidewinders with our own 3D printed fins on them. Like, let's just actually see what would happen if we could replace all of the brick-built ordnance with our own 3D printed. And Camera Guy was nice enough to oblige me with 3 new weapon sets on here. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, so we have, maybe we can turn that thing off. We'll just go through it real quick. We have the Mavericks. These are the AGM-65 Mavericks. The LAU-10, these are the Zuni rocket pods, so 4 rockets in a pod. And then you have the Mark 82 bombs. So we've been wanting to do this Mark 82. It's a general purpose 500-pound bomb. We have like 6 different ways of doing it in brick. And like, let's just brick build it. Or not, let's just 3D print it. I mean, I say just 3D print it like it's that easy, but
Camera Guy makes it look easy.
I couldn't do it.
Right. So And I mean, one of the bigger challenging parts about Lego is that we only have certain diameters of round parts.
Yes.
Right? And it's super limited if you want to have anything kind of accurate in your
My Mark 82
armaments.
bombs are square.
right.
They're squares.
So that's very limiting. But on a similar note, these engines are entirely new design.
Yes.
Like previously, we used a cement mixer part.
Right, that ended up becoming super rare. Because of my last model. Once we put those instructions out, the aftermarket for that cement mixer part just went away.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't find it anymore. So that's a completely brick built engine. There's no big pieces on there. I had some other. This is like engine number 4 now, I think, and I'm finally happy with it.
It's a really slick design. Looks great from the front. Looks great from the back. So, and proper diameter. It's great.
It's still just a hair too big, but I think I'm okay with a hair too big. It's not nearly as clunky and big as the last version. So this did get scaled down just a tiny bit from the previous version. It's super solid though. You can handle this plane. Here, I'll just pull it off the stand here. We'll give you a demo of the plane. Here, put it on its landing gear. It does balance on its tricycle gear, it's just tough because 3 points and that huge long tail with those heavy engines, it makes it want to tilt backwards. But you can see all the armament. You can handle this thing; it's not going to break. It's super swooshable. If you can figure out where you can hold it. So, swooshing, swoosh, whoosh. Make jet noises. Can make a brat noise.
Your daily.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the noise.
So you have all the things move that are supposed to move. You have the rudders, the flaps, ailerons, everything.
Got split air brakes.
Split air brake, and then you have the flaps.
Super cool.
Yeah, they all work. They do what they're supposed to do. The landing gear fold up. Front landing gear completely go into the nose. Canopy opens. I have a green Ninja, so
very special test Ninja.
very special. Actually, the story of the test Ninja, the new green test Ninjas, I had to buy a set that came with these green wedges. I don't know, it's a curved wedge slope. I don't even know what you call it.
It's a very funky part and it has a very funky shape. And I look forward to printing on that.
So yeah, that'll be fun. It'll be fun putting the printing on here. But I got a bonus Lloyd. I believe that's Lloyd out of this whole thing.
Also, amazing camo scheme on this.
Oh, thanks.
This is it's beautiful. The dark green, the olive green, and the dark gray. It looks great. So this is from a very specific time period. It's from the early the 80s, right?
No, they had this camouflage in the 80s. This is the European NATO camouflage. So this was designed to stop the expected onslaught of Soviet tanks pouring through the Fulda Gap in Czech Republic or Czechoslovakia, I guess, into Germany. They had the A-10s were literally designed to stop this armor onslaught, and hence you have all the original planes had this European NATO camouflage scheme. But this particular plane that we're doing was involved in the Gulf War, so they actually flew all these things over to Saudi Arabia for the Operation Desert Shield and Desert Storm. They didn't paint them; they kept them in the European colors.
Okay.
In fact, there were a couple that arrived in desert camouflage that they painted to this color scheme. I don't know why. Maybe so they were all uniform, but
somebody prepped their planes like, well, let's make them desert, and they got there and said, no.
I think they were based in the desert in the United States, flew them over to the Middle East and said they all have to be uniform, so you're going to paint your plane. So this is very common. This is a known camouflage scheme. It's not something I made up. It's not like an aggressor squadron or anything like that. This is actually, this was the U.S. Air Force camouflage at the time. So
it's cool. It's very striking.
So this is an A-10A, the original A-10, as opposed to the A-10Cs, what they're flying now, which is just electronics upgrade.
Yeah.
So.
Super great. Additionally, so it comes with the stand?
This stand, I have to be honest, I bought a Quinjet to get some parts for this thing. I built the stand for the Quinjet and modified it to hold this. So this is actually Lego stand. I will include a stand with this. I think I want to do something just a hair more heavy duty than the traditional Brickmania stand. Okay. 2 pins, just so I don't want it to drop, because this is a very heavy model. I mean, There's a weight brick in here. If you don't know what a weight brick is, it's a weight, literally a brick with a weight in it. So it's heavy.
Cool. So it comes with a stand, not this stand, but a stand.
A similar stand, yes. You'll see a stand. I mean, all the stands that we make are very similar to what Lego makes, and vice versa. We are inspired by them. They are inspired by us. Let's not we'll admit it.
Okay.
Not beat around this. Now this is cool. I was looking at this plane. The Air Force Museum in Dayton, Ohio, right Patterson Air Force Base has this actual plane, and their pictures on their website. They're towing it around with this particular tug. So George Hicks volunteered to make the tug from the pictures. So.
And we don't have a big tradition of making tugs.
No,
right?
we've never made a modern Air Force tug or any sort of we don't make a whole lot of equipment for ground crew. We have our ground crewmen, but this is the first time we've done it. So we're actually going to change that, and you're going to be seeing, this tug and other pieces of ground equipment showing up, fuel trucks, things like that we haven't really spent a whole lot of time concentrating on.
Cool.
So,
great for mock building, or really just flush out your display of any given kit. And we are also releasing a ground crewman to go with us.
Yes, and the ground crewman will go with the tug.
It will.
Yeah.
Checking my work notes. Oh, right. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is not a separate. We already have a ground crewman, but this will have a uniquely Desert Storm themed figure. So if the Bricks in the Sand 2 book or Bricks in the Sand 1, this new figure and this tug will be a perfect fit in. So
awesome.
So aircraft tug, George Hicks has done this. George Go Boom. You have the aircraft boom here, the tow bar.
Mm-hmm.
One of the cool things about this is all 4 wheels turn on this tug.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's got 4-way steering.
And Slam has all sorts of really awesome printing plans.
Yep.
So both the A-10 and the this is an M4 tug, if you didn't catch that. So.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks, Dan. These both look great, and everybody should please up.
Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh.
All right, and we'll get Dylan in here to tell us about the rest of the happenings at Brickmania this week.
Well, Slam, what can I say about this build except that it's a 10 out of 10.
Oh my God.
I was waiting for that. I spent all night writing that. That was
Roll credits, we're done.
Can you believe I riffed that?
Right. Maybe workshop.
And that was the end of Dylan.
Yep, and that was the last anybody saw of Dylan. 6 months later, he might come back again.
Oh, come on. All right.
Wow, this is 10. This is really a 10 out of 10.
It is a 10.
It is a...
Sorry about that, everyone. Okay, so it's still back to more serious things, though. There are still some cool stuff coming out this Friday. We have a pre-order for a minifig pack for a World War II U.S. bomb crew designed by Amanda. They may look a little recognizable, especially considering the timeliness of their release. But it will be a series. So if you're looking to get in on starting a collection, pay attention for drops for those. Because it's a figure pack, that's why we're doing the pre-order.
Cool.
So.
Okay. Let's pre-order 3 guys.
Mm-hmm. Yep, 3 guys.
But World War II American bomber crew.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So if you've got instructions or a bomber laying around that's in need of crewmen, we got you. That's a common problem, right? Bombers with no crews.
It's much easier to build bombers than it is to train up crews.
There you go. See?
Yeah. It's
So
a constant shortage.
Not that out there. Also releasing this week, the limited edition Italian armored car. I believe that's the ILMV. That is getting ready to ship, so that'll be available in stores. I do think it's sold out online, though.
Yeah.
So hopefully you got in on that if it's limited edition. If you didn't, remember, retail stores, they'll get their copies, but once it's gone, it's gone. So then you'll have to wait for the vault. We've also got a Ukrainian Defender ATV that was pre-ordered a while ago. That's a pretty cool little kit.
It's a great little kid. Yep.
So that'll be shipping. Ordnance QF quick-firing 2-pounder anti-tank gun, that Brickmania Classic Series, that'll be releasing as well. And then we'll also have the modern German Rifleman V2 and the U.S. Navy Talker helmet, Mark II. That'll be in dark bluish gray and OD green.
The Talker helmet is super fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good standalone item for sure.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun to do. Yeah, so that completes everything then that is coming down for the rundown for Friday itself. Couple of quick events notice before we get to the Monday stuff. BrickFair, Fredericksburg is next weekend.
Cool.
You going?
I am not going to make
Yeah,
the
me
trip to the East Coast. Is a bit of a stretch for me.
Yeah.
We've got work to do here. Yeah, but Dan will be there.
Yep, Dan will be there. He'll be making the trip up from the Florida Design Studio. Got the full roadster and everything rolling out for Brickmania, Fredericksburg. Yeah, not exactly. That'd be a little close to Chantilly. Anyways, so Dan will be there with the full roadster and everything, so make sure to swing by and check him out. We've also got some exclusive figures that are going to be debuting. You've probably seen them on social media already, but remember, those will be traveling around with the roadster, so follow Dan on social media, follow the main account on social media, and wherever we are, you can find cool exclusive stuff.
Yeah, awesome.
Which that's our mantra, right? Make it worth your while. Otherwise, you just have to talk to me. And let's face it, who's going to California for that? All right, quick Monday rundown.
Okay.
Panzer III, German medium tank Brickmania Classic Series. That's returning on pre-order.
That was a really popular kit.
Yes.
So, yep, another batch coming through.
That's a good one. One of my favorite kits coming back too, the Kettenkrad, just as that's one of those vehicles where you're like, that really existed. That's so cool. We got modern Marine and modern Army rifleman, universal aircraft stand, a couple of Ukrainian figures that are going to be shipping now, modern U.S. tanker, and the perfect caliber Brick Arms P40. Which was it your call to do the random colors on those? Because it's one of my favorite Easter eggs that exists in our
That was a Landon.
Was it a Landon
call.
thing
Yeah.
to do all the different colors? I thought that was kind of funny.
I love the Germans were like, how about we make them multicolored? Right?
Let's color them up.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, and I think the description on the website says that if you get the green one, it does an extra 1d8 poison damage.
Correct.
So we're nerds, what can I say? And then final notes, remember, March 31st is when the prices for the World War Brick passes changed. I know I've said that the last couple of times, but in case you haven't been watching, I want to let you know, because after that deadline, it only goes up from there. So make sure if you're coming to World War Brick 2024, seal up those passes and plan your trip, because we're looking forward to it.
Awesome. Yeah.
Cool.
We're working hard for it. That's a huge high point of the summer for us. And we look forward to seeing you there.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thanks for watching.
And we're out. Okay.